Aging is driven by specific biological processes inside your cells. As time passes, cells produce less energy, repair damage more slowly, and remain in a state of chronic low-grade inflammation. This combination accelerates tissue decline, increases disease risk, and reduces physical and mental resilience. While aging itself cannot be stopped, the speed at which these processes progress can be influenced. Research shows that certain nutrients and compounds directly support mitochondrial function, DNA stability, inflammatory control, and metabolic regulation. These systems are central to how fast the body ages. In this video, we're going to look at 5 substances that slow key aging mechanisms, explain how they work in the body, and why their effects depend on consistency rather than intensity. Substance 1. Magnesium. Magnesium is essential for long-term cellular stability. It is required for over 300 enzymatic reactions, many of them involved in energy production, DNA repair, and nervous system regulation. Without sufficient magnesium, cells operate under constant metabolic stress. Magnesium is necessary to form and use ATP, the molecule that provides energy to cells. When magnesium levels are low, ATP production becomes inefficient and cells fatigue more quickly. Magnesium also stabilizes DNA and supports accurate cell replication. Chronic deficiency increases DNA damage and reduces repair efficiency, which accelerates cellular aging. Another critical role of magnesium is nervous system regulation. Low magnesium increases stress signaling and cortisol release, which promotes inflammation and tissue breakdown over time. Adequate magnesium status is associated with better sleep, improved glucose regulation, lower inflammation, and more stable energy production. These effects accumulate gradually and support healthier aging at the cellular level. Omega-3 fatty acids influence aging primarily by regulating inflammation and maintaining healthy cell membranes. Chronic inflammation is a major driver of aging-related diseases. Omega-3s reduce inflammatory signaling and help shift the body toward a more balanced immune response. Cell membranes are made largely of fats. When omega-3s are incorporated into these membranes, cells become more flexible and responsive, improving communication and stress tolerance. Omega-3s also support mitochondrial efficiency, allowing cells to produce energy with less oxidative damage. Another important effect is on telomeres, the structures that protect chromosomes during cell division. Slower telomere shortening is associated with slower biological aging, and higher omega-3 status has been linked to better telomere maintenance. These effects develop over time and depend on regular intake and overall dietary balance. Vitamin D functions as a hormone that regulates gene expression across multiple tissues. Vitamin D receptors are found throughout the body, including in muscles, immune cells, bone, and metabolic tissues. Low vitamin D disrupts coordination between these systems. Deficiency is associated with increased inflammation, accelerated muscle loss, impaired immune regulation, and reduced insulin sensitivity. Vitamin D also supports proper cell differentiation, which helps maintain tissue integrity and reduces dysfunctional cellular behavior with age. Adequate vitamin D status contributes to stronger muscles, better immune balance, improved metabolic health, and greater overall resilience. Its influence on aging comes from restoring systemic regulation rather than producing immediate noticeable effects. At this point, a clear pattern emerges. These substances slow aging by supporting energy production, repair mechanisms, and inflammatory control. Their effects are subtle but cumulative. Substance 4, protein, adequate, high-quality intake. Protein is one of the most powerful tools to slow aging, yet it's often misunderstood. Aging is strongly associated with loss of muscle mass and function, a process known as sarcopenia. Muscle is not just for movement, it's a metabolic organ that regulates blood sugar, inflammation, and hormonal balance. When protein intake is insufficient, the body breaks down muscle tissue to meet basic needs. Over time, this leads to weakness, insulin resistance, slower metabolism, and increased frailty. Adequate protein intake slows aging by preserving muscle mass, improving insulin sensitivity, supporting tissue repair, maintaining metabolic stability. Protein provides amino acids required for continuous repair of tissues, enzymes, hormones, and immune components. Without enough protein, repair slows down and aging accelerates. Another key point is protein distribution. Muscle protein synthesis is stimulated in response to protein intake, but only up to a certain point. Spreading protein across meals supports more frequent repair signals compared to consuming most protein in a single meal. High-quality protein sources, such as eggs, fish, dairy, lean meats, and well-planned plant proteins, provide essential amino acids including leucine, which is critical for muscle maintenance. Consistent, adequate protein intake does not slow aging by increasing longevity directly. It slows aging by preventing the functional decline that accelerates biological aging. Polyphenols are bioactive compounds found in plants that play a major role in slowing aging at the cellular level. They influence aging through several mechanisms: reducing oxidative stress, improving mitochondrial efficiency, supporting DNA repair pathways, activating cellular defense systems. Polyphenols interact with signaling pathways related to longevity, including those involved in cellular stress resistance and metabolic regulation. Unlike vitamins or minerals, polyphenols do not act as building blocks. They act as signals, helping cells adapt to stress more effectively. Examples of polyphenol-rich foods include berries, olive oil, green tea, cocoa, colorful vegetables, herbs, and spices. Regular intake of polyphenol-rich foods is associated with reduced inflammation, improved vascular health, better metabolic control, and slower functional decline with age. One important aspect of polyphenols is their interaction with the gut microbiome. Certain polyphenols improve microbial diversity, which in turn supports immune regulation and metabolic health, both strongly linked to aging. The anti-aging effect of polyphenols is cumulative and depends on dietary patterns, not isolated doses. These 5 substances do not act independently. They support overlapping systems. Magnesium supports energy production and stress regulation. Omega-3s stabilize membranes and inflammation. Vitamin D coordinates immune and metabolic signaling. Protein preserves structure and function. Polyphenols enhance cellular resilience. Together, they create a biological environment that favors repair over damage. Aging accelerates when damage outpaces repair. Aging slows when repair systems are consistently supported. This is the key concept. One common mistake is inconsistency. These substances do not work when taken sporadically or used for short periods. Another mistake is focusing on supplements without addressing diet, sleep, and stress. Nutrients support systems, but they cannot override chronic physiological stress. Another error is expecting visible changes quickly. Aging-related benefits occur internally first. Improved metabolic markers, better recovery, greater resilience, long before external changes appear. Slowing aging is not about adding complexity, it's about supporting foundational systems consistently. When energy production is stable, inflammation is controlled, repair mechanisms function properly, and metabolism remains flexible, the body ages more slowly. These substances do not promise immortality. They support functional longevity, the ability to remain strong, resilient, and metabolically healthy over time.